Hello, and welcome to your favorite bookish podcast, Fully Booked and Caffeinated. I'm Heather.
And I'm Kelsey.
And today on our book to film adaptation series, we will be covering People We Meet on Vacation, right smack dab as soon as it released, like 4 days after.
And a little
jumping right in.
Deja vu for us.
100%. Before we roll right in, do you want to discuss your drink this morning or now?
Well, right now I have a Coke Zero, a Cherry Coke Zero, but I'm so annoyed. Okay, today I had a delicious coffee. I had a Malozio Nespresso pod with the brown butter chocolate chip creamer. And yesterday I went to ShopRite and I'm like, I got to get more of this creamer. I'm almost out. And Coffee Mate was on sale for two for $6. So I'm like, wow, what a great deal. They didn't have it. Okay. It's gone already. Because it was definitely limited. It wasn't like Christmas, but it was limited edition.
Yeah, I remember when I went and got mine like a few weeks ago. It was like the last one.
Yeah.
In the freezer. No, it's not freezer. The refrigerator.
Yes. But they didn't have any fun flavors. The only weird flavor, like not normal flavor they had was Kit Kat. And I didn't want that. So I got hazelnut and vanilla caramel. But I'm just annoyed.
I don't think I'd like Kit Kat. I'm just not a big coffee proponent in my coffee.
You mean chocolate?
Yeah. What'd I say?
Coffee in your coffee.
Listen.
But I completely agree with you. The only time I like chocolate in my coffee is when it's peppermint mocha.
Yeah. Although I did get that caramel chocolate yesterday from Dunkin' in my latte.
Oh, yeah. And you liked it.
That actually wasn't too bad. So I was actually pleasantly surprised because I'm not pretty big on the... But I don't think I'll like it iced.
I don't think so either.
Because I think if I drink it iced, it's going to taste like chocolate milk and it's going to throw me off.
I agree.
So, but yeah. Yeah. Pretty tasty. But this morning I just had... I made coffee at work.
Okay.
Because number one, trying to spend less money on coffee. Especially when it's been so not great as of late. So I don't really want to be wasting $5 a day on coffee that doesn't bring me joy. But we bought Starbucks K-Cups at the office.
Okay. So that's good.
So those are pretty good. But I bought some cute Valentine's Day throwaway cups from TJ Maxx when I was there this weekend. They have like little hearts on them, so I could make my coffee at home with my
Love
Nespresso.
That. You could take your Nespresso and take it on the go.
Yeah, I couldn't do it this morning because I had to go to urgent care before work. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna leave up. This coffee's gonna be cold by the time I get done. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna make one at home.
Before we start, we should apologize for talking shit about Colorado.
Oh my god. Listen, we don't like the winter if that has not been redundantly clear in this podcast. So when I said, what the fuck is in Vail, Colorado, apparently there's a lot.
Yeah,
and
we have been
yelled
alerted
by our
friend that
my chiropractor goes there apparently.
It's a very, very popular spot if you are into winter sports, which we are not. Yeah. So I still stand by us not caring, but I can appreciate that other people care.
Yeah, if you like to ski or snowboard or whatever it is that you like to do, good for you. Not for me.
Nope. I'll wait for you on the beach.
Seriously.
Okay, now that we got that out of the way.
Now that that's gone. But like now I kind of want to go just to see what like the hubbub is.
I just wait in the lodge.
I just want to go like for vibes. Just straight vibes.
Yeah, I agree because I think that part of Colorado, I mean, I'm about to sound like an idiot again, is probably better vibes than anything we saw in like Love is Blind, Colorado. So,
although Denver, Colorado is going to be popping because they have playoffs next week. So it's going to be crazy there right now.
I mean, hopefully that's the fun part. I don't know.
So, all right. People We Meet on Vacation. Year it came out, 2026, 4 days ago.
Literally.
It was directed by Brett Haley, who I have never heard of before. And I looked at his IMDb work, and I have also never seen anything he's done. He like directed an episode of Looking for Alaska, so that's fun.
Okay.
But other than that, he does pretty much a lot of like indie stuff.
Okay.
Or, like, for the cast, the two main characters were the cutest ever in the universe. But Emily Bader plays Poppy Wright, and she's a pretty new to the scene actress. So she's on a show which I have not watched yet, but want to watch. It's called My Lady Jane, and it's on Amazon.
I never
And
heard
people
of
are
that.
like, yeah, people are also big mad because they already canceled it. And apparently it was like a really good show. And she, again, had like excellent chemistry with the male lead.
Okay.
So I'm going to circle back to that because I definitely have heard good things about it. And I think that she's an excellent actress. So pretty much anything that she appears in, I might check out. And then Tom Blythe, I think his last name is, I forgot to like look it up, but I'm going to say it's probably Blythe. Do you think it's something else?
I don't know what else it could be, so we're going to go with Blythe.
Yeah, he's an English actor.
Perhaps it's Blitty. I don't know.
I don't know. But I don't know if you see the promo pics when they're doing like the movie promos, and he has like this little mustache right now, and I'm like, I just want you to shave that off.
The mustache is bad. The mustache is
like,
bad.
It's not doing it for me. I know you're taken, my friend, but whew, I need you to get rid of that mustache. But he's been in a couple things, but he's probably most well known right now as Cornelius Snow in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think is the name. So he's also kind of becoming an up and rising star as well. So they're kind of both on the trajectory of going towards success, and I wish them the best of luck.
Great. Me too.
I feel like every movie we've done so far is like a star-studded cast that has like this amazing repertoire, and this is like so indie.
Well, that's the crazy part, is that so many of the supporting characters are like, I know every
like
single
Shannon
supporting character.
Jamila
like Jamil, who I love.
I know. They all had maybe 5 minutes, if that, in this film.
So I knew the boss, the parents, the brother, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know these main characters.
Because the brother was in Parenthood. And then Lucas Gage, who was the boat guy. I mean, we've seen him in You. He was on something else as well. He shows up in a lot of stuff.
He's also in Smile 2. He was really good in that.
Oh. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I kind of like that these are like not well-known people. It's a good way for them to get on the scene, especially with a book that's so popular. A lot of people have been like looking forward to this movie. So it's definitely going to be good exposure for them in general. So to start off, how surprised were you at how different this is from the book? Because it's like very different.
It's so different.
And I was like briefly reading some interviews. They just did like a New York Times interview, the two actors and Emily Henry. And she had said, she was like, because they had to cut a lot of the locations because they don't have like she was like, we don't have like a $5 million budget. So that played into it a lot. So they did most of their filming in Spain, in Barcelona, and in obviously New Orleans. So they had to like change Palms. That's why they changed Palm Springs to Barcelona, and why they cut out like Croatia and didn't show like the other trips.
Okay, but like you could have shot all this in the middle of Pennsylvania and just pretended it was different locations.
I know. So I was kind of like...
And we'll get to it, obviously, but there was a lot missing and then a lot in there that I didn't need.
Yeah. I will say, though, that the casting of Tom and Emily was ridiculously spot on. I think that they were pretty perfect as Alex and Poppy. And Emily Henry had posted this really sweet post to them, kind of like the day that the film came out. And I pulled this last one of these paragraphs from the post because I think think it encapsulates how she felt about the film. Because when I was also reading the interview, this was like, I guess, a really tough process for her. So
Okay.
I don't know exactly why, but she says it in this too. I couldn't have asked for a better Alex or Poppy, seriously. And as hard emotionally, she did like a little asterisk thing next to it, as this process was for me at times, I would gladly start it all over again tomorrow just to get the chance to watch you guys work again. I don't think either of you have any clue how rare you guys are as actors and way more importantly as people.
Okay, that's sweet.
So she really liked them. And also, they actually had a lot of auditions that people, like a lot of people that auditioned for it. It was like over like 200, I think I saw in the interview.
Oh, wow.
And she basically was like, Emily was the one that stood out the most.
Okay.
Which makes sense since she got the part. The film opens with Poppy vacationing by herself, and while trying to stay positive while on vacation by herself, negative things just keep happening. A bird poops on her book, which some would say is good luck. A creepy man at the bar hits on her. That's not good luck. She falls in the shower to her death. Definitely not good luck. Etc. And then like she's like pulled out of the scene and she's at work and she's basically supposed to be writing some nice vacation blog, and her boss is like, why does that say death? Like, what are you writing about? And then the first thing that happened that I was like, David, who is Alex's brother, calls Poppy about RSVPing to his wedding in Barcelona, which is not at all how this happened in the book whatsoever. David's not even in touch with Poppy, it seems like, in the book. So then this was kind of a definite change from page to film.
And also, why wasn't Poppy reading her mail? Like, that didn't go with her. I know that she's supposed to be like hyper and energetic, but she's also responsible. She has a job. She travels. Read your mail.
Maybe because she travels so much, it just gets like lost in the bustle.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then obviously in the book, his wedding is in Palm Springs, and Alex is the one who like invites her.
Yeah, I didn't like that. The whole point, the entire point of the book is that Alex and Poppy had stopped talking, and then she is trying to figure out what she's missing, and she's like, okay, last time I was happy was with Alex. I'm going to reach out to him. We're going to try and do this again. Like, it was the whole thing of her getting her psyching herself up to reach out to him to go on vacation together.
I would have liked the conversation that her and Rachel had in the beginning of the book to be part of the film. Because like I said, I feel like that was kind of like the monumental moment that led to Poppy reaching out to Alex. So to not have that wasn't, like, I would have preferred to have that in there.
And they didn't even have to have the whole thing. They could have combined it with the conversation with her boss. Like, they could have tied that in together and not had her as a character, or not, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have to have an entire new scene is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, while the spin class was funny, and I do feel like Emily Bader's humor really made this film for me with, like, her comedic moments, like, it didn't feel, like, it kind of fell out of place, because no one knows who Rachel is. You know, if you hadn't read the book, you would have no idea what that character means to Poppy.
Agreed.
But that moment, so we have the first Alex and Poppy meeting moment, and the car scene was phenomenal. I loved every single second of this. The burrito, just his OCD was not doing great with that. Just like the awkwardness, and then when she plays the Paula, was it Paula Abdul? song with the saxophone, and you just like see his face. I'm like, oh, this is like what I pictured, like when I was reading. Like, this is perfect. Like, this was such a good scene.
And I love even at the beginning of the scene where he's like, "You're late," and she's like, "No, you said like 8 or 9-ish." She's like, "I would never say ish," and like it just it totally sets you up right away.
Yeah, exactly. And in the movie, Sarah is actually Alex's high school sweetheart, not college, and they're currently dating. So this is also a big shift from the book to the movie. Because in the book, Sarah is someone that Alex meets at college, and it's kind of a will they, won't they scenario. So just right off the bat, they're just dating.
This didn't bother me as much.
No, but it was a big change.
Agreed.
They end up staying at a motel on the way home to Linfield. And from this point on, they kind of have like these random like conversations while they're in the motel that leads to like an unlikely friendship, you know, and they're just seeing like the beginning of their friendship and what it becomes later in the film. I just really, really thought that this first scene of them was really well done.
Yeah, and I see why they did it this way, because how else would you be able to show the gradual growth in their friendship?
Yeah, and they did take like a few of the things from the book, like what you dislike and everything. When he's like, she's like, I hate running, and he like laughs. He's like, I love running, and she's like, you're a sicko. And I agree, Alex, you are a sicko.
I do agree.
So we're back to the present time, and Poppy tells Alex that R&R is sending her to Barcelona and that she can now attend her brother's wedding. But it's like funny because when she first calls, she's like, oh, I can't go. Like she like changes, like, no, wait, I can go. And like obviously she's lying. Her boss or no. Is her boss sending her to Barcelona? No, right?
No, she switched from
Santorini.
Yeah.
She's supposed to go to Santorini. That's right. And then, but she lies and says she's going to Barcelona. We flash back to 8 summers ago. Thank the Lord they put the condom scene in. Amazing.
And it was even not better, but it was as good at as the book, even though it was different. But in the book, they don't have the interaction between Alex and the dad. And I loved that.
That was phenomenal. Like, Alex is talking about how he's scared to fly in a plane for the first time. And Poppy's dad is thinking that he's talking about having sex for the first time. And I'm just cracking up because this is such a casual conversation for like Poppy's dad to be having with like this random guy, and knowing and thinking that like, oh, my daughter's going to screw this kid.
Yeah. And that's another thing that made so much sense because we know her parents from the book, but I don't know if it would make sense if you hadn't read the book. But I will say, Molly Shannon, I could not have picked a better mom for Poppy.
I know. She like comes in, she's like dancing with the condom box. I'm just like, it was great. I'm really happy that they like put that in. They go on the water taxi trip, and this was also like obviously different. So I feel like in the book, how I envisioned, they weren't like camping, right? In the book, like they were like at a house. I believe in the
they
book.
had a house, but they weren't staying in a house.
But they also had tents outside. So there's kind of like a camping scenario, and well, Poppy is hooking up with the guy whose name I can't remember, the water taxi dude. He has like a death tattoo on his chest. And then all of a sudden he's like, are you okay? Like, I feel like you're not into this. She's like, I just keep thinking about death. Like, that's definitely like a pretty big mood killer. And then Alex goes skinny dipping because he's vacation Alex, but he dumbly leaves his clothes too close to the waves. And so all that's left is a sock. So we as the viewers just get a view of Tom's naked body for a long extended period of time. I mean, I wasn't mad about it.
Wasn't mad about it at all. And I did like, at first I was like, oh, this is so out of character, but I like that
Yeah.
that's how they had to say, this is Vacation Alex. He's
Vacation
not
Alex.
regular Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was actually really a good way to do it, because I feel like skinny dipping is kind of that happy medium for someone who is kind of like a stick in the mud. I think that's a good thing to like transition to.
I think it's a kind of drastic, but I mean, I'd do it, but I'm not a stick in the mud. I did have the most dramatic sense of wanderlust when I was watching this in general, because I'm like, I want to go skinny dipping and cliff jumping with strangers.
Yep. I know. It sounds like a lot of fun. And then during this scene, when Alex and Poppy are in the tent, Alex tells Poppy that every summer they'll meet somewhere in the world for the trip, no matter what they're doing, no matter who they're with, etc., etc. And there begins their trip. So nothing interesting must have happened between 8 summers and 6 summers, because I have no notes. So this must have been, I think this is when they arrive at her very hot hotel room in Barcelona. So then we get the flashback to 6 summers ago, which was my personal favorite because it was literally where we just were 2 months ago. And I'm like, this is wild to see like New Orleans. Like we were everywhere that they filmed on all the streets. And then they went to Cafe du Monde, which we did not go into there, but we walked past it. So we knew what was happening. And it was just really fun to see. I was like, oh, there's Bourbon Street. Like we were there. And we were walking.
Yeah, I agree.
By the water and stuff. While they're there, they pretended that they just got married so that they get free stuff from every place that they go to. And then this kind of like backfires on them, but in a fun way, because when they're at a bar later in the evening, which by the way, perfect bartender. I don't know if that's a paid actor or if that's the actual bartender at that bar, but kudos. Loved him so much. They end up running into the couple that they saw at Cafe du Monde who were celebrating their honeymoon. And they're like, oh, we need to like hear how you met. Like, what's your like love story? And Poppy's like, well, he proposed in Paris. And they're like, oh, like, what do you guys do for a living? Like, you got married in Paris, you got engaged in Paris. And they're like, oh, we can tell him, honey. She's like, he's a CIA agent. and then Alex is like, well, she works on like oil rigs.
Yeah.
Like these insane jobs that make absolutely no sense. But this couple was like, wow.
Like they're on an episode of House Hunters or something.
Yeah, literally amazing. So they really lead into the role play. And I also loved that aspect of their relationship because it was fun to like see them play with each other. And like, because even like at one point Poppy says, I love it when you get weird. And Alex is like, I only get weird when I'm with you. So it's kind of like that special moment that only they share. But then they do this amazing dance in the middle of the bar. Because Poppy was like, oh, he choreographed our first dance at the wedding. And then she has the bartender put on the song that she played in the car when they first met with the saxophone. So that was...
And he looks good.
He looked really good. When he was dancing, I was like, all right. I get it.
I was like, okay, Alex.
I know. They go back to the hotel that they're staying at. And... they're kind of like briefly talking about relationships. And at this point in the book, Poppy is dating Julian, who Alex basically says, yeah, I don't like him. Like he calls me Al. And he like shaves his armpits or something, he said. So, so it's just, he's like not a big fan. But lo and behold, once they get back to their place, Julian is just outside of New Orleans. And he is in the film for 5 seconds.
Yeah, this was so unnecessary.
So pointless. And it was just kind of like, it was almost like this was trying to kind of put into the viewer's like sphere about like, it's almost like a pissing contest because Alex, like obviously she shows up, Poppy's on his back because she fell and like sprained her ankle. And that's how like he was holding her. So already in the situation, you can tell that like Julian feels like a little bit threatened because why is my girlfriend on the back of some other guy? And Alex is like, I'll go get you something from inside. And he's like, no, don't worry, Al. He's like, I got it. Like there was just like a definite, like, Julian was definitely trying to like mark his territory hardcore.
And
so I guess like that's kind of trying to show how like intimate Alex and Poppy's relationship is without being romantic right now.
Yeah, I think it also was to try and serve the purpose of like, there is some lingering something, there is longing looks and, you know, hinting at the fact that maybe Alex already loves Poppy and vice versa. But it just felt kind of unnecessary because they could have done that without Julian.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Back at the hotel in Barcelona, the back spasm scene happens much differently than how it was in the book. And he gets a back spasm while trying to fix Poppy's air conditioning in her rental. And I think that obviously kind of like the whole point of this is to flash back to the 4 summers ago when Alex skips the Norway trip to take care of a sick Poppy. I also wish there was more of this scene. This really kind of felt very like stunted.
Yeah, it didn't definitely didn't have the same impact it did in the book. And
no.
I didn't like how it wasn't balanced because in the book, in present day, Poppy then takes care of Alex or tries her best to. And in the movie, it was just kind of like, oh, you sit here, I'll pass you this ice pack. It wasn't like as thoughtful as it was in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like that specific trip or lack of is where Poppy kind of has her first realization of how like sexually attracted she is to Alex. And, you know, you could tell like the feeling was mutual in the book. So I don't know. I definitely wanted a little bit more in that scene. Lovebirds, not yet lovebirds, but will be lovebirds, go to the rehearsal dinner for David and, oh my God, what is his husband's soon to be husband's name?
Nam, I think.
Nam or Tom, something like that, yeah. And I loved this because she walks in this gorgeous dress to one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. She walks out to August, and I was like, oh, I like this.
I did like this dress, the green dress.
Yeah, me too. I actually liked a lot of her outfits in this film. I will say the fashion design was pretty on point.
Yeah, and I saw online the costume designer said that this dress specifically was a nod to other rom-coms like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and stuff like that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. When the two lock eyes, you just know in that moment that like they're both secretly in love with each other and just haven't told the other person yet. And at this dinner, Alex finds out that Poppy's work trip wasn't in Barcelona and that she was supposed to be in Santorini. And Poppy admits that she came because she missed her best friend and she wants things to go back to how things were before Tuscany. So then when they said like Tuscany, I was like, the couple's trip? And then obviously I realized at that point that we weren't going to Croatia because then it said 2 summers ago. And I was like, well, 2 summers ago was Croatia, but all right, let's roll with it. So we get that. So basically everything that happened in the Croatia trip just non-existent. Never happens. And instead we get the Tuscany trip where it is the couples going together. So it's Trey, who is the photographer that Poppy is dating, and then Sarah, who's back together with Alex. They're still on and off. And while they're in Tuscany, there's also like still like a lot of like tense moments before like the pregnancy reveal, because like you can definitely tell that Alex dislikes Trey and like thinks that he's like pompous, and I don't think he likes the way that like Trey is talking about his and Poppy's relationship. That was kind of like the vibe that I got, and it was very much he just kind of had like a negative response to everything he was saying about like how he could never travel, like he wants somewhere to like put down roots, and so it just kind of like leaves this weird tension-filled moment between the couples. But then Poppy thinks that she might be pregnant, so she interrupts. Alex is like, I should just go see her, right? To Sarah. He's like, I should go, right? Just check sure she's okay. And Sarah's just like, yeah, sure. What am I going to say? No.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go and they get a test. She takes it, comes back negative. But then they have like this almost kiss. And when I was reading the interview, this apparently wasn't originally going to be in it. And Emily Henry also didn't want them to fully kiss.
Okay.
Because she knows that rom-com readers have a really big issue with infidelity. And since they were there with other people, she didn't want to put that into the film. So there's like this almost kiss that happens, which I think is fairly like common. And Alex asks what that was, and Poppy immediately backtracks and she's like, I didn't mean it. And Alex is like, what am I to you? And she says, you're my friend, my best friend. And that was not the response that Alex was looking for. That morning, he just proposes to Sarah. And Alex and Poppy have like this argument about Alex's plan for his future, and tells Poppy that this is going to be their last trip together.
Mm-hmm.
Because Poppy thinks that Alex is really big on like compromise. And like you can tell that he wants Poppy to, I mean, I guess change for him, like in a sense, but you know, she's trying to say that if you want to be with someone, you know, you'll make the changes to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And Poppy feels like she's, you know, there's kind of, he's not making the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
And that he should be more selfish because he wanted to like teach in like New York or wherever, and he's just okay being a high school teacher in Linfield where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So
back to the almost kiss. When I was watching it and they were leaning in towards each other, I almost turned my fucking TV off because you know I hate the cheating trope. So I'm very happy that they didn't end up actually kissing. Mm-hmm. And then it pissed me off that he proposed to Sarah because book Alex would never. Because even though he bought a ring, he literally bought a ring that Poppy would want. The second he bought it, he regretted it. Like, he's not an impulsive person.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't, even though like Poppy says, you know, that he's not selfish and not doing things for himself. Like he does in the book when he's like, I got a vasectomy. Didn't talk to anyone about it. I just did it because I felt like it was best for me. It didn't fit with his character at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. After walking away back in present time, Alex comes back to Poppy's hotel and he just walks in. So she's just not locking doors. Like, he just waltzes right in. I was like, okay,
that's how you get trafficked.
And yeah, literally. And he explains to her that he doesn't want to go back to how things were before Tuscany. And Poppy then proceeds to ask why he and Sarah broke up. And Alex admits that, yes, it's because of Poppy. So now Poppy like feels like this immense guilt. She's sweating because the air conditioning is broken. And so she goes to get the scissors and cuts down all the plastic sheeting that's blocking the sliding glass door because apparently there's like construction going on. Which, like, by the way, why would you rent out a room with like unfinished construction? Just in general.
It's like it made sense in the book that it was this shitty Palm Springs motel, but not in this fancy
not in like a resort in Barcelona.
Exactly.
Or a hotel, not a resort, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And out in the rain, because it is raining, and we have the typical romance rain scene. And out in the rain, the two admit that they want each other. And Poppy says, you know, she wants this because I love you. And Alex is like, since when? And she says, probably always. And I just felt like their chemistry in this entire part was just off the charts. Like, they had like probably one of the best rom-com, like romantic chemistries I've seen in a while.
I didn't feel that about their chemistry. I thought they did have great chemistry. I just didn't like this scene particularly. Like, I thought...
Yeah, it was very different too.
Yeah, and it was just... The construction looked like a Hollywood film set.
Well, actually, you know what part, the chemistry when she's in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
That scene is actually what I was referring to for that part. But yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like
Continue.
the setting looked so cheesy.
Yes.
And it didn't make sense that there's this enormous area. Like it's supposed to be just a little balcony that's under construction. Instead, it's this huge area. And I also, just in general, I didn't like how they combine these two trips. Or if they're going to combine the two trips, she shouldn't be staying at this nice hotel, because the whole point is that the stakes are supposed to be super, super high. There's all these stressors. Everything's going wrong when they finally see each other again. And then, like, all these things are working against them. And that's when they come together and decide, like, fuck it, we're ready to, like, do this together.
Yeah, there was a lot of angst missing that was needed.
And they were trying to create it with the heat, but then that was the only stressor.
Yeah, and it didn't really show through as well as I think that they would have predicted it would. And I also kind of felt like, not that I want like a massive sex scene, but like I felt like there should have been more intimacy. Like, because like these two are finally having this sexual moment together. And while it doesn't need to be raunchy, we don't need to see like, boobs and dick and everything, but like they just like, I wanted to like see them really come together in that moment of being like, because it was so good in the book. When Alex is like, I want to enjoy every second of this. Like, where was that?
I'm doing a soundbite of we don't need boobs and dick. But I completely agree. And to your point, that the scene where they're getting ready in the bathroom together and he like comes up behind her and stuff.
That was chef's kiss.
Yes, like that felt like the intimacy that we were missing.
Yeah. I know, because she's like, will you clip my dress? And he says no. And I was like,
yes.
Yes, sir. Yes. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Great.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. I definitely agree. The sex scene didn't need more sex, but it needed
it just needed intimacy.
Connection.
Yeah, connection. Then the wedding happens. Did you peep the Emily Henry cameo?
No. Who was she?
She was sitting next to Poppy at the wedding.
I love that. Oh, I would completely. If they were making my book into a movie, I would be like, the only way I'm signing off on this is if I get to be in the movie.
I know. Well, didn't like Colleen Hoover appear in It Ends With Us?
I think so.
Yeah, I think she was at like the party in the beginning or whatever. So at the wedding, Alex asks Poppy what comes next, and Poppy very much wants to avoid this conversation at all cost. She just wants to live in this moment. She's like, we'll talk about the real stuff later, which was the wrong thing to say, because then Alex is like, so you're saying this isn't real? And she has to backtrack and be like, no, I just need time to think things through, which is also the wrong answer. The communication, not great. Alex very much is like, all right, I think we're going to stop right here. And, you can come to me like when you're ready. While at the airport, we have this random scene where Poppy runs into Sarah.
Yeah.
And apologizes for kind of being careless with her friendship with Alex and not really thinking of the outside entities that come with like their relationship and not being considerate. But then Sarah's like, you did me a favor though, girl, because I would have married this boy and would have been second fiddle the entire time. He would have never loved me the way that he loved you. So you did me a favor. And look at me. Now I am no longer a real estate business owner, because that's what she was in the movie. She was not a teacher. Now she's just flying. She's a flight attendant. Now she's traveling.
Yeah, I did like movie Sarah and how she wasn't bitter like book Sarah was.
But I didn't love the blonde hair on her.
No,
like,
me either.
I wanted like White Lotus Sarah. And it's actually funny because her name actually is Sarah.
Oh, is it?
Her name's Sarah Catherine Hook, and she plays Sarah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Poppy resigns from her job and apparently writes this wonderful resignation letter that makes Jamil cry. And she's like, I want to see more of this. I'm sad you're not doing it here.
Yeah.
But please continue. Which I will say, it's such a small part of the film, but I loved the women empowerment in that part. Like, you have this boss who is a female boss who wants to lift her female employees, which shouldn't be rare, but it is. And there's not really any competition and everything. And so seeing that moment where she's like so supportive of, she's like, if what you're looking for is not here, I'm going to miss you, but I fully support you.
And it's funny because we called out in the book that we loved the interactions between her and her boss. So I'm happy that made it in. I didn't think it would, and I'm happy it did.
Yeah, it translated really well from book to screen. I was very happy with that. And so Poppy goes back to Linfield, and the girl who hates running chases Alex down the street. How she survived, I'll never know. Because this boy was
moving
paces.
I saw a meme of him running with his headphones and her in the background. And it's like, oh, to be an unbothered white man on a run. Because he doesn't have to listen. He doesn't have to pay attention.
No, but also he looked so hot running. I'm like, I have never in my life been attracted to a man running until I saw this moment in the film. I was like, what is happening? We have the romantic love speech that every good romance has, and the kissing in like the middle of the street. Well, not in the middle of the street, but they're like on a little sidewalk.
Yeah, a
in
little
the middle of two streets.
Peninsula in the middle.
Yeah, and I liked this. It was good. A little anticlimactic, but still good. And then we jump ahead to next summer, and they have a dog named Kenny G, which just cracked me the fuck up. Because I'm like, you got a dog and you named it after a famous saxophone player. That is fantastic. But yeah, that's basically the film. It's very different than the book.
Very different.
And from what it sounds like, Emily Henry was okay with it. And she said there weren't a lot of like script changes, but there were definitely a lot of like drafts of the script. And she had her say,
well,
it seems like in it. But
and it sounds, it is something that she could be happy with because it was well done. And she's not a screenwriter to rewrite it to include the things that she wants. But I do think if I hadn't read the book and I was just watching the movie, I would have been really confused because it jumped around a lot.
Yes.
And you don't get any of the lore behind Alex and Poppy. And so it's kind of like,
agree with you, and that was what I was thinking the entire time I was watching this movie. I was like, if you did not read the book, you're not going to get these interactions whatsoever, and you're not going to understand how monumental X, Y, and Z is. And like, I like what you said too. Like, it was a really well done film, and I will say the production value alone was so good. Emily was so hilarious. Like when she's at getting her luggage and she's just singing that song with her headphones on, I was like, to have that confidence to just be that weird and quirky in the middle of an airport, 10 stars. Love it.
And I also, to your point, loved what they did with her wardrobe, with all of her outfits, because they weren't, I think if they had been as over the top as they were in the book, like the neon orange bell bottoms, it wouldn't have translated to the movie. But everything she was wearing
really stuck out to you.
It really did. Because like bell bottoms, yikes. But just all of her outfits, you could tell were like quirky and vintage, but they weren't super loud or over the top. They just were a signature style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I loved her outfit when she gets to Barcelona and she's in the airport. That whole like white outfit. I was like, I like this. This looks so good. And like the dresses were beautiful.
And even, the shot from the cover and where they are at the end with the beach chairs facing the opposite way. And she has her like pinup style bikini, but then she has the little tie in her hair that goes with it. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
she has a definitive style, you know?
Yeah, and I saw that there was an Easter egg in that scene, which I didn't catch until I read it. Did you catch the Easter egg? Probably not.
No.
The book that he was reading was written by Augustus Everett.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay. I like that.
Which is gonna be the next film. And I was reading, someone said too that Funny Story was being made into a movie.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Netflix was doing that one as well.
I saw that too, because they were talking about how majority of hers are now optioned, or maybe all of her books.
Which like I do personally love, and I'm really excited to see the resurgence of like romances and rom-coms coming back into like the film sphere, because I feel like we've talked about this plenty of times. It's so, we don't have like, the movies that have been coming out as of recent were nothing compared to the movies of the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. They've just been kind of like subpar. So while I don't think that this was an amazing film by any means, it still gave you, I think, those vibes that we've been missing and wanting. Yes. At least to me anyways.
No, I completely agree. And I did text you at the end and say, I'm fucking crying. I hate rom-coms.
I didn't cry. And I don't know why.
I had 2 drinks at this point.
Okay, that's fair.
I was having a moment. It was more
and I think that's why,
the wanderlust mixed with just the general, like, you're forcing me to feel something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is why I think I say that scene when she gives her love speech was kind of anticlimactic, because those usually make me sob my eyes out. And I didn't. But I definitely, like, you know, hugged myself when he, like, kissed her as his response. And I was like, ooh, love that. Yeah. She's like, you can talk now.
Yeah, it did feel a little like we didn't have to work hard enough for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, like, all in all, like I said, not my favorite. But the acting definitely was really good. I think their chemistry together as friends and like romantic partners, like their friendship chemistry was amazing too.
I will say, Poppy is the villain of this movie, like even more so than she was in the book.
I know. Yeah. This movie does Poppy dirty for sure.
And I was like, okay, I guess if Alex forgives you, I guess I'll forgive you.
Yeah. Although I did like the part of her speech when she says that she fears that she's going to be like too much for people. I think that's going to resonate with a lot of women.
Oh, 100%.
Because that's definitely such a commonality in fears of dating. Because with women, there's this stigma of you have to be, you know, quiet and do what I say, et cetera, et cetera. And so when you have these quirky, weird women who are flamboyant and loud and just full of life and joy, and men can't handle that for whatever godforsaken reason.
That's such an important point, because not even just in relationships, but in general, society tries to dim women so much, especially in the workplace. And then when you look at relationships, and it's like the one place where you should be able to be yourself. And so many women feel like they can't be. And then when they finally feel comfortable enough to be, and someone says, oh, I love it, I love everything about you. And then one day they decide, oh, wait, this is too much. And I shouldn't have to deal with it. When in reality, it's something that should be celebrated. So I really think that is a common thing. And I think that I haven't read all of Emily Henry's books, obviously, but I think that this is a common thing in her books, at least, especially because of how like funny her female characters are.
Yeah, I think you'd really like Daphne in Funny Story, because I think she's one of my favorite female characters.
Okay, is that the one you listened to?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe I'll listen to it.
She's a librarian.
I love that. Okay, I'm writing it down for my next audiobook.
Okay. And like, so I think that was Poppy's whole deal of never wanting to take that step with Alex, because it's not shown well in the film, but in the book, she says how much she can't lose Alex. And because she's afraid that if she shows she's being her true self with him in a platonic friendship way, and if it moves to romantic, is that going to cross the line that they're never going to be able to come back from? And I think that's understandable.
I think the fact that they couldn't or they didn't show that in the movie is why Poppy came off as such a villain, because in the book, you know that she's struggling with the fact that she wants more with Alex, but she doesn't want to ruin their friendship. Yeah. Whereas in the movie, it's just kind of like, oh, Poppy decided today she wants to be with Alex, and she'll decide tomorrow she doesn't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get all of that insight.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I do understand the point that this is like a 400-page book, and there are a lot of things that happened. This is another one of those books that would have served better as a series.
Yeah.
Because each episode could have been a summer that would have led, and you could have those scenes in between, when they're in Palm Springs and they're dying of heat and everything. And then you have like the moment when they finally come together will have so much more meaning because you have the full backstory.
And I know that they obviously wouldn't have everything in the movie, but I think they should have gotten rid of the wedding altogether and just had it where she was trying to reconnect with him.
Yeah.
And that's why they ended up seeing each other and she reached out to him or tricked him into going with her or whatever, because it just wasn't the right setting for them to finally be together.
Yeah. And I think that when you think about it, there really aren't many romance series, but I feel like Nobody Wants This has kind of catapulted that back into like the potential things that could be made. And this obviously was filmed like after that or during the same time, so it wouldn't have been thought to like be a series. But I'm hopeful that more these romance books that are being picked up to be created, that some will consider doing series. Well, because I think at that point you get to kind of do more.
I'm sure that some of the steamier ones will be after Heated Rivalry. So,
oh my god, I have an hour left of the Stranger Things finale, and then I'm starting Heated Rivalry. Did you watch it yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
but I'm going to.
I'm starting it. Yeah, yeah, and like that's been great. Like the promos that these actors have been doing for the show are like phenomenal. Like they were just the Golden Globes or whatever, and they had like really cute moments together, and I'm just like, I haven't even watched the show yet, and I love them. You know, like who would have thought we're starting the year off with like gay love as like a huge plus?
It's what we need right now.
No, literally, this is Heated Rivalry came at, I think, the perfect moment.
2026. It's
Yay.
Fine. It's fine.
We're taking it day by day. We're not going to look at it as a whole quite yet. It's literally the second week of January.
Yeah, because the whole is sucking so far. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Unfortunately.
I will say, sorry, before we move to the next thing, just if anyone has not seen the photos of, what's the actor's name from this movie?
Tom Blythe?
Yes, of him with the puppies.
Oh.
Do yourself a favor.
I think it's on Bustle's Instagram.
I also saw BuzzFeed. I don't know if they just reposted it, but I saw it on BuzzFeed too. I'm just like upset because on my TV currently, there are so many men who I'm sexually attracted to, and I hate being attracted to men. So like between Traitors and then this, I'm like, there's too many hot men on my screen and they need to stop.
Don't worry, Survivor's going to start and Love is Blind, and all the misogyny is going to ruin that for you real quick.
Thank you. You're so right. Thank you for saying that. You're so right.
You are so welcome.
I just have to wait a couple more weeks. You're right.
Don't worry. Anyways, was there anything else that you want to talk about this beautiful film?
I don't think so. Oh, God.
All right, ratings then. Let's get to it. It's out of 10 blue wigs.
Okay.
which I should have looked more into the lore about this, because there was a comment that Jamil left on an Instagram post, and it says, "I'm so glad you like wouldn't let go of the blue wig, that you like fought for the blue wig." So I guess they were maybe going to put something else on her.
Okay.
But the blue wig was like perfection.
Mm-hmm.
She looked so freaking cute in
I
that, with the
wonder
makeup
if
and everything.
they thought it would be too much with like, I don't know, but it fits with
I thought it
book
made
Poppy
it
for sure.
I agree 100%. So yeah, we're out of 10 blue wigs because it has some kind of sentimental meaning to the film and like the creators.
Okay. I'm gonna go 6 blue wigs. I really liked the performances from everyone. I agree. I loved the chemistry. I don't think that anything that I disliked about this movie had anything to do with the actors, the performances. It was definitely the way that they condensed it from the book. I thought they could have done without some of those things, some of these scenes, to include things that we needed. Seeing Alex dance was really a great experience for me.
Love that so much. Seeing Alex running was an experience for me.
Seeing Alex do a lot of things was an experience for me, actually.
All experiences.
Just like seeing him exist, seeing him drive like a fucking
breathe.
nerd was an experience for me. But I agree with you. It definitely needed more intimacy and needed more. It felt like a rom-com. It scratched the rom-com itch.
It did.
Which I loved. And to your point, I love that this is what we're starting to see again. I
know. I'm hoping that this is like a good itch on a scratch off, and we're going to be blown into just full-blown romance. Millions and millions.
Okay, well, I didn't say all that. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I wonder if I would have liked it if I hadn't read the book, but I know that I didn't like it as much because I read the book.
Yeah, I full-blown think that if I watched this without reading the book, I would not have understood it, and I wouldn't have liked it. But because I read the book, and this is why I need to read books before I watch things that are created. I can't do it after. It has to be before.
I agree.
Because it just kind of like takes it away. But I gave it a 7 just because I appreciate that this era is coming back, because I've so desperately missed it, as most millennial women have been. We just need it, especially in this time. I would love it.
We need something.
We need something to keep us going. And the acting, just seriously, like phenomenal acting from unknown or like not well-known actors. I think that really helped make the film as well. I personally can't see anyone else playing either character. I really think that Emily was the perfect Poppy.
And I think her comedic he was the perfect
timing.
Alex.
Yes, he was. Just like the comedic timing. I'm happy that the comedy did go from book to screen, because we talked about how funny Poppy was and like how good those scenes in the book were. So I'm happy that some of that shifted over into the film.
Not all of it landed for me. Like, I love the burrito scene. I didn't love the spin class scene because it was just like so outlandish. But I liked when obviously it was her and Alex and she was joking. So I agree. That's something, if that hadn't been it. And also, like, imagine if the acting wasn't good, we would have said this movie was like a 3 or a 4.
No, that's why I'm saying if they did wonderful casting for this, especially being like a not very well-known director either. And just kind of coming in.
It makes me even more excited to watch the Hunger Games, the prequels, but I have to read the books for those first.
Same. I will not be watching them until I read the books.
I was actually going to read it over like Christmas break, but then I was like, we'll probably cover it on the podcast at some point. So instead of reading it twice, I'll just wait.
Yeah, that's actually probably using your noggin.
Sure am.
On that one.
Sure trying.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it. Do yourself a favor and go look up them puppy pictures. I'll post them on our TikTok.
All right, that is all that we have for you today. If you like what you heard, please make sure to follow, subscribe, and rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you listen to us on. If you have any book recommendations or questions for us, you can email us at fullybookedcalfpod@gmail.com. Also, be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at fullybookedcalfpod to see our upcoming reads. Thanks for checking us out, and remember,
if you need us, we're fully booked. Bye.
Bye.